And happy Wednesday, everybody. It's hump day, so you've made it through the midpoint of the week. If you're watching this video today, thank you for joining me here on the channel. This is Elite Weather Forecasting. My name is Dooley Godot. I am the meteorologist here, I guess you could say, on staff at Elite Weather. And we're going to be talking about your midweek weather forecast. All of the heat that we're going to be seeing out west, as well as some wet weather that's going to be moving to parts of the Midwest, the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes, and then over toward the east. But we're going to be seeing a little bit of a cool down through parts of the Northeast and the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. So the northern part of the country, in the eastern half, we're going to see things cool down a little bit for a couple of days, and we're going to continue to see that warmth and humidity in those thunderstorms moving across the south. We're going to see some thunderstorms again today across the Great Lakes and parts of the Midwest as well. But we're going to have that heat beginning to build in across the deserts and the Southwest. So going to be very warm in Vegas and Phoenix and the eastern deserts of California as well. We're going to be seeing that warmth across Texas into Oklahoma, as well as across the high plains. We're going to be seeing relatively very warm temperatures. Some record temperatures is also going to fall for places like Vegas as we head into Thursday and Friday, as we see those temperatures surpass 110 degrees. So let's take a look at our first map for today's forecast. And this first map we're going to be seeing is that storm systems that's going to be moving over the eastern United States. We got another system out there over eastern Canada, but we have this system here that's working its way across the northern half of the United States along the U.S. and Canadian border there. So Michigan, Wisconsin, northern Minnesota is going to be dealing with some wet weather, and we're going to be seeing that wet weather slide on through into the east and the mid-Atlantic states and down to the southeast as well, as we have a trailing cold front that's going to be getting dragged across as well. So we're going to be seeing a little bit of wet weather across the east as we head into the weekend, but we're going to see a slight cool down in temperatures across the upper Midwest and into the parts of the interior Northeast and the Great Lakes as well. But very warm out here to the western half of the United States, the desert Southwest and the deserts of California. And we're going to be seeing it warm into Utah and Colorado, Nevada, all the way up into Montana and Wyoming and Idaho as well. We're going to be seeing temperatures warm up quite nicely. Very, very warm temperatures in the 80s and 90s. So get ready for the heat out there across the Western U.S. And as we look at our current conditions, we do have this cold front that's moving across the Midwest and down through the Ozarks. We have that trailing cold front. So we're seeing some thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast. So Houston over towards New Orleans, we might see some thunderstorms. And we are looking at some storms here across the Ozarks. So Branson, all the way up into Arkansas, Little Rock, as well as up into parts of Missouri. So St. Louis, up into Illinois, we're looking at some showers and thunderstorms in that region. And we're looking at those showers and storms working their way up into Michigan and Wisconsin, up into eastern Canada. So we're going to be seeing those showers and storms all the way up into Ottawa, as well as into eastern Canada here. And we're also looking at a warm front that's extended across the mid-Atlantic states and into the Northeast. So we're going to see showers making its way through Pennsylvania and upstate New York, across the St. Lawrence River Valley into eastern Canada. So Montreal and Toronto might pick up some showers as well. And we're going to look at showers and storms across the southeast. So Atlanta, South Carolina, parts of North Carolina, we're going to see some scattered showers this afternoon. A few showers here in that cooler air coming down across the upper Midwest today. That's going to spread some isolated showers across parts of Minnesota and the Dakotas. Might be a rumble of thunder as well. And here is our current temperatures. As we can see, those temperatures in the 80s across the southeast, but those 80s is making its way all the way into the northeast. So we're seeing 81 up into Boston, 87. We're seeing temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s between DC and New York and into Rhode Island. But we're going to be seeing those temperatures a little bit cooler across the northern plains. Temperatures in the upper 60s, around 70, 72 in Minneapolis. And we're going to be seeing those temperatures. We're seeing 74 for Dallas right now. 86 in New Orleans is those temperatures. Chicago, it's looking at a temperature of 77 degrees. 80 for you folks in Detroit today. And we're going to be looking at that temperature of 91 down there in Phoenix. 93, 84 right now in Vegas. And we're looking at 64 in LA, 61 San Diego, 57 up in Seattle, and 55 in Portland. So a little bit cooler in the northeast as the northwest, as they might have showers because of that atmospheric river. So we are seeing some Pacific moisture moving into the Pacific Northwest, but we have that heat dome building in from the southwest and over the Four Corners and across the Rockies. So we're going to be seeing temperatures quite warm over those regions. And here is their humidity. So you can see areas that will be having thunderstorms today. Look at the dew points are lower across Minnesota, Wisconsin, down into the 50s today, where they're in the mid 60s yesterday. But we are seeing those dew points in the 60s. 80 down here in South Texas, Brownsville, Texas. Dew point is in the 80. 80 over here in Beaumont, Texas. 85, 86 in Houston. Those dew points in the 70s across Florida. So there is some heat and humidity across the Eastern U.S. Not as much as so in the Northeast. So temperatures, the dew points are in the lower 60s. So a little bit sticky, but not the worst. But the really good stuff, the juicy stuff, is down across the Gulf Coast and in the southern United States, so across the southeast. Here is our satellite right now. We are looking at those showers and thunderstorms across South Texas, and those showers are extending across the Ozarks and into the mid-south here and through parts of the upper Midwest. So Missouri, Illinois, parts of Iowa as well. We are looking at those showers into Indiana, Michigan, all the way up into southern Canada. So Ontario and Ottawa, over towards Montreal, we're looking at some showers and thunderstorms right now. Here is our weather alerts and then our hazards. So we have our flooding here, aerial flooding. Down here is heat related, excessive heat advisories across South Texas into the southwestern U.S. We also have more heat advisories across Texas. We're looking at winds here across parts of the Rockies and some flooding there in the Pacific Northwest as they've had very heavy rainfall in that region. So we are looking at a nice colorful map here as we have lots of advisories in place at this time due to either flooding or heat related or high winds. So a pretty active time period right now as far as the weather is concerned. And as we take a look, this is where we have active thunderstorms. So we're looking at a big cluster of storms across Texas once again along the Gulf Coast, Houston eastward towards Beaumont and the Louisiana state line, Lake Charles down there. So in the bayou, we're looking at some big thunderstorms, and we're looking at some thunderstorms moving across the upper Midwest. We have some thunderstorms here across the Ohio Valley. So southwestern Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, we're looking at some thunderstorms right now. A few rumbles of thunders up here across the parts of northwestern Minnesota. We're going to see a rumble of thunder in that area, but otherwise that's where all of our thunderstorms, and check out the storms up there in parts of the northeast and eastern Canada as well. And here is that area of low pressure. This system is going to usher in cooler and showery weather into the Northeast as we head into the weekend. So by the time we get to Sunday and Monday, cooler weather in the Northeast and a little bit damp as well. And we're going to be seeing those damp conditions extend backwards towards Minnesota through Wisconsin and Michigan. So here is the forecast for your Wednesday in the eastern United States. This cold front sweeping on through, but look at the warmth ahead of it. Still in the 80s for across the South, the Appalachian, and into the Mid-Atlantic and the Ohio Valley and into the Northeast. Those temperatures will be in the 80s today. Those 80s will shift closer to the eastern coastline. So New York, Boston, all the way down to Atlanta, North Florida, temperatures in the upper 80s, some 90s down there near Florida. But those showers and cold conditions, wet weather will also accompany some of this warm weather. So some scattered thunderstorms will occur and some severe storms is also going to be possible on the East Coast on Thursday. So tomorrow, New York, Washington, Boston, Philadelphia. If you're in the Northeast, expect some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some of those storms will be severe. Damaging winds and some hail is going to be possible with these severe storms. Maybe an isolated tornado through parts of the Carolinas again as well. So we're going to see those showers on your Sunday across mainly New England and eastern Canada. So the St. Lawrence Valley, the Great Lakes area, so eastern Great Lakes, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, Lake Huron, if you're in those eastern areas, eastern Michigan, so Detroit, over towards Buffalo, Syracuse, through the Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, maybe parts of Connecticut, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania, down through West Virginia, eastern Ohio, maybe even northeastern Kentucky, might see some showers and some thunderstorms. But cooler weather, so it's going to be more showery, mainly maybe an isolated rumble or thunder, but mostly this is going to be just regular light to moderate rainfall across the Northeast on Sunday. But we're going to be seeing it nice and warm until then. So today, very warm temperatures across the eastern U.S. as we see those 80, 88 in Boston, 81 in D.C. today. So very warm across the east. And we're going to be seeing those temperatures drop back as we head into Saturday. So Saturday, we're going to be seeing New York down to 77 after being 82 tomorrow. In D.C., we're going to see it drop to 80. So still going to be warm. That front will have less of an impact further south you are than it will in the Northeast and New England. The Northeast and New England, so if you're in New England, if you're in Maine, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and upstate New York, and maybe Western New York, Western Pennsylvania, your high temperatures might get pushed down maybe into the upper 50s to low to mid 60s. But if you're along the coast from New York southward through D.C., Charlotte, down through Charleston, you guys will hang on to the upper 70s. The further south you go, the less impact that front will have as far as the temperatures. You'll all get a little bit of rain and maybe a thunderstorm and a change in the winds, and maybe the humidity will drop a little bit as well as that front passes, because the winds will change from the southwest to the northwest and the north. So under those northerly breezes, those dew points will come down. So you will see those temperatures drop a little bit as we head into the weekend and drop a few degrees. So maybe a little bit more comfortable, even though for some of you it won't be as cool, but it will be drier, so it will feel a little bit more comfortable. You will still have a nice weekend, especially on the latter half, to go out for outings and things like that. But look at this high pressure that's going to be moving on shore. We got a lot of heat alerts across the southwest, heat advisories, excessive heat. This is all excessive heat. Here we have heat advisories in place across the desert southwest. But notice we don't really have them along the coastline, because there's just enough of an onshore flow to keep the LA basin and the coast In Orange County and San Diego, a little bit cooler, quite a bit cooler, as we will see highs maybe get into the 70s along the coast, but those 90s and 100s inland. So look at that hot weather. It's hot as hell in the Southwest. So heat alert. So we got excessive heat from Arizona, Eastern California, all the way up to North Central California and Sacramento, where we have those 100-degree plus temperatures. But at least it's a dry heat. We'll say that. But look at that Las Vegas, 111 tomorrow. Possible record right there. A record in Palmdale, 101. 102 in McAllen, Texas. 89 in Flagstaff. A little bit cooler than the rest of the area because of its elevation. But we are looking at very, very, very warm weather across the west. A couple weeks early for this amount of heat. So a little bit early start to the heat. And we're going to see more heat tomorrow. 110 in Vegas on Friday. But 99 in Colorado and Grand Junction. 93 on Mount Shasta in Northern California. 88 in Flagstaff. So very warm temperatures across the west. This is your weekend forecast across the Western U.S. Very nice in Salt Lake City. Temperatures will remain in the 60s. The 80s, the overnight, these will be early morning lows. So your morning low temperatures in Vegas will be very warm. Those overnight lows and morning lows have been afternoon high temperatures here in Minnesota. So our afternoon high temperatures the last few days have been in the mid 80s. You guys are going to be waking up to mid 80s in the early morning hours. But very nice in the south in California. Palmdale, not too bad. 77, still a little bit warm, but 66 is okay. But it will be nice along the coastal areas. Nice up in the mountains of Salt Lake City. Nice up in Sacramento in the morning as well. So here is our area where we can see some severe thunderstorms as we head into your Wednesday night. We can see a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms across the Ohio Valley, down through the Illinois Valley and the Tennessee Valley into the Ozarks, down here through Arkansas, East Texas, Tennessee, Northern Mississippi, Alabama, up through Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, into Michigan is where we can see a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms. So damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, some hail, heavy rain, going to be your primary threat. Tornadoes are going to be possible, but almost a non-risk here. I wouldn't rule out an isolated tornado up here in the Ohio Valley, but I'm not worrying about it too much further down here because there are less dynamics. This is for a marginal risk for severe weather, so these storms are barely gonna brush being marginal or severe. Some rain we're gonna see as we head into your afternoon tomorrow afternoon and evening. That cold front will continue sliding east. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. I need a drink. But that cold front is going to bring some rain showers and some gusty thunderstorms into the mid-Atlantic states, Shenandoah, the northeast, parts of the northeast, so New Jersey, Connecticut, eastern New York, eastern Pennsylvania, eastern Virginia, Delaware, Maryland, North Carolina as well. Might see some gusty thunderstorms, non-severe, so small hail, some quick downpours, and some gusty winds might be possible, but some isolated travel delays as well with some of that heavy rainfall. And we might see some of those gusty thunderstorms across the parts of the Great Lakes as we head into the night tonight. So eastern Minnesota, so Duluth, The Twin Cities in my area might see an isolated shower or thunderstorm this afternoon and evening. Wisconsin, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan as well, we might see a brief shower or thunderstorms, but these are going to be non-severe storms for the most part. An isolated severe might be possible for a brief period of time, as this is going to be borderline stuff here. But with that, we're going to see things drop as far as the temperatures are going to concern over the weekend. So that low pressure center is going to usher in cooler air down from Canada. So we're going to see, if you're in the north, the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes area, so the Ohio Valley through the upper Mississippi River Valley, so Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, northern Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, western Pennsylvania, western New York, we're going to see temperatures get a little bit cooler and a little bit breezy as well. So gusty winds from the west-northwest, 20 to 30 miles per hour. So cooler, gusty, maybe some showers here and there as well. So showery, a little bit unstable air mass, but no thunderstorms really expected with this. Maybe a rumble of thunder here and there, but for the most part, we're going to see temperatures drop about 10 degrees below historical averages for this time of the year. And we're going to see things get hot as all get out west. Huge heat dome building in, high amplitude ridge in place across the western half of the United States. Triple digits temperatures in California and the desert southwest, but not too bad here across the northern tier. So Wyoming, Idaho, parts of Washington, Oregon, Montana, Colorado, not too bad. A nice warm temperatures, low humidities. Going to be a little bit of a fire risk, so because it's going to be kind of dry. So a risk for fire is always not out of the question, especially if you have temperatures that might approach 90 degrees, but you're going to have very low relative humidities across the interior of the United States. So be prepared, be cautious, be careful if you're camping or if you got to have a campfire. Make sure that you are careful, that you keep it down, you keep an eye on it. Don't leave it unattended. Make sure you put it out properly. Cover it with sand or dirt after you're done so that it doesn't reignite or embers blow off and hit trees nearby and start a wildfire. So please be careful. And then on the East Coast, before we wrap things up, we're going to talk about how you're going to have a warm start, but then it's going to cool off as you head through the second half of the weekend. So a little bit of a pause in summer across the east, but we're going to keep a bit of warmth across the mid-Atlantic and further to the south. But if you're over the interior of the Northeast in New England, you're going to feel a little bit cooler. So Buffalo, Burlington, Vermont, Maine, and all those areas, you're going to feel a little bit of a chill in the air. And we're going to see that rainfall as well. So Thursday, we're going to see those showers and thunderstorms. So gusty storms will be moving in for your day tomorrow. And then again on Friday, we're going to see more of those showers and thunderstorms, gusty stuff, but no severe weather is expected. And again, further down to the southeast, this is where we could see some severe thunderstorms as we head into your Thursday. So we're going to see those showers and storms down across the mid-south and the southeast, and even to parts of Florida along the coast as well. Now, one thing about Florida, one of the reasons why we often see a lot of rain in Florida, especially over the east coast of Florida. Now, I used to live in Miami, and they have that trade winds, that sea breeze often brings showers off the sea breeze, so you get random rainstorms in Florida. So it would rain for no goddamn reason at all. You have a beautiful sunny day. You always see some puffy clouds out there because it's always a lot of moisture in the air. But you'll be at the beach or just maybe a mile or two inland. I used to live in Aventura, Florida, which is kind of an influence. When I was a radio DJ, when I worked at WEDR 99 Gems, I made $100,000 more a year, so I had a really nice place. I made six figures. So I lived in a really nice condo in Aventura, Florida, which is just like north of Miami Beach. So, and all the goddamn time, for no reason at all, it would start raining in the middle of the day. It would be these downpours that would come, last like a minute or two. It would rain cats and dogs for like a minute. You'd be soaked, and then about it would be gone just as fast as it came. And it would do this almost every day. But you'd have nobody reacted because you was all used to it. You didn't go run, oh, it's raining now, because this Florida, man. Florida, I love Florida. One day I'm going to move back to Florida. I love Florida. I had a ball. I had a ball. Boy. I was single too. Oh my God. I made 6 figures. Oh my God. Yep. Florida was the place to be. Man. Boy, when they moved me to Texas, Texas was dope too. I ain't gonna spit on Texas. Texas was live as well, but Florida ain't no place like Miami, I tell you. I was about 21, 22. I was wild ass in the streets, boy. He was made for the streets, I tell you. Oh my God. So, anyway, I'm up here reminiscing. Alright, so that'll do it for the weather forecast today. Anybody who live in Florida now can tell me. I watch it now because I know some folks down there, and I know it's off the chain, and the women are crazy nowadays, so it ain't like it was back in I was there back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And now people are off the chain. People out there talking about, oh, a man got to pay my rent and all that. It's like, nah, your stuff ain't that good that I'm paying rent and stuff like that. I ain't that old yet that I got to start paying rent to get women, you know. So I'm glad I've been married for the last 16, 17 years now. So I ain't got to worry about none of that. I got a woman that I've been paying her rent for the last 16 years. So, so anyway, Mr. G gonna sign out today because I'm clowning and acting a fool now. So thank you for checking the brother out. We're gonna edit this trash and get it posted so y'all know what the weather will be like over the next several days here, and what you're gonna be seeing out there. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video, another weather forecast in the afternoon hours, about midday or so. So thank you for watching me, and I will see you guys all later. Bye-bye.